Hey there, Bucket. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. I just gotten started today. How you doing? Thank you for popping in. We're gonna be working on some of these characters here. I got some of the detailing to do, so we're gonna kind of get on with them and see what we can do with them. So, one of the things is we've got these pouches and things that they're wearing. So I think I'm going to go with kind of a brown, but going up to a pale kind of colour. See how that looks. Just knock down this burnt umber, and I think we're going to go up with an icy yellow, so we've got a little bit of colour in there, not just a pure white. Just going to mess around with that one for making the paler brown. Okay, so here we go. So you joining us from America there? If it's morning for you, it must be America, if I'm not mistaken. For me, it is the evening. It's very, very late. It's getting on for like 10 p.m. here. Squeeze that one in there. Oops, sorry. Bumping things around. I have been fairly busy these days. I haven't been able to get much painting done between streams, or any painting done between streams. But I've been working a lot on Blender, trying to put a bunch of my work, put a bunch of my terrain into Blender to try and make an animated battle report. But it also allows me to load it all into Tabletop Simulator, so I can actually play online with people as well. So it kind of doubles up for both of those things, and it allows me to use my terrain as well, which I don't get to use because there's not really anyone in Osaka who plays Infinity. It's kind of a difficult one, that. But yeah, we're making up a bunch of terrain. It's been looking good. Now I'm currently just having a little bit of a difficulty with putting one particular terrain piece into Unity without it going kind of transparent on some of the faces. I think I've got an idea of how I'm going to fix that, but I've got to get back in and mess around with it, try and fix it up. Once I figure that one out though, then the map is basically kind of complete and I can kind of rearrange it how I like, but currently it's looking fairly nice, I think. I can get to play around with Blender later and animate everything. Does he have any? He's got another one there. Don't forget that. go. Okay, let's try and get in there and just get some of that. You probably can't see that, but gotta get in there and do that. All right, I think I'm having some focus issues on this. If it falls out of focus, please let me know and I'll try and fix the focus so it's like a forced focus perspective. Sneak in there. Get a little bit lighter again. A little bit on there. There we go. Lovely. I think that's all right. Just for a quick job on the leather pouches. For the moment, I think that's all of the brown that we're going to be doing right now. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm going to do this trap on this back. That needs working, and these bars here that are coming down. Could try and match them up with the prospector with the blues and turquoises, but I just don't know. I'm not sure if I like that really. Right, let's throw on some. Yeah, it's definitely having trouble with the focus, isn't it? So let's force the focus. Right, that's a pretty good window. Sorry if I'm falling out of focus there. Go. Just a little bit more. Just give the full thing a coat. We might come back a bit later and add the details in with some different colors and things, but for now we can just slap on all of the brown, and at least we've kind of given it some color. kind of like a belt that runs through the top there, so we might do the belt in black. That might be something to do as well. Okay, that's all the bags there, just covered in the brown first. All right, so we're gonna add on the lighter brown now. Put that one on fairly liberally. Then we're going to go in with the much lighter browns next. Alright, I might just go in just a touch lighter. And that looks alright. It's kind of nice. So let's just add it onto this part of the model as well. Yeah, that's all right. And we just got one more dude to add that onto. Does he have any little bags or anything? Actually, he does not have any bigs. So he's kind of all right at the moment. Now with this guy, we're going to be adding some highlights onto these little mesh areas here, and then eventually going over with a purple wash. I've also got to do this spanner he's got. So I think what we're going to do is and we've got to get some white and some black on the palette here. Pop that down. And I'm wondering, do we build in a little bit of just a touch of orange as well? I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to have a little mess around. So initially I'm going to need the black and the white together. Get a fairly dark grey. Get that all in. The underside. A little bit of the metal of the mini showing through at the bottom there. It's very difficult to see, but it is there. So we're going to try and remove that if possible. Now, this is where I'm going to experiment a little bit. Let's try and build in just a touch of the orange, just to kind of get this warm grey. It'll give it a different kind of grey to what we've got elsewhere. So hopefully I'm hoping that the wrench will kind of look a little bit different because of it. So yeah, it's kind of got then a different property to the rest of the grey that we've got going on in the model. Just kind of getting in a bit there. I'll keep going with that for a little bit more. We'll build in a little bit more white to do a bit more of the highlights on the wrench. But with the orange just subtly put in there, it just gives the kind of the temperature of the grayscale is a bit warmer than the other areas of the model. Put in a little bit more white and get it a bit lighter, and you can see it's kind of like this warm grey. go. Kind of just building up the layers of this this wrench. And make it just a little bit warmer, a little bit lighter as we go. We might add in a little bit more deeper orange to kind of add some rust points. We might even add the brown in for that. See how that goes. We'll get a touch more white, keep going lighter and lighter so we get these, building up these highlights. All right, we're getting there. Thank you very much, Bucket. That's very kind of you. That's a very lovely thing to say. I'm just enjoying painting me models. Right, we're gonna let's give this a go. We're gonna try and make a kind of a little bit of like dirt and rust. So I'm gonna get some of this brown. I'm just kind of build it in some areas, kind of stipple it in, maybe around the bolts there, a little bit around the handle there. So we're just kind of making it look a little bit interesting there. I don't know if you can see that well or not, but it looks kind of nice, I think. Mix in a little bit of orange, so we got this lighter brown, this more reddish brown. Again, we'll just stipple in around those areas. Try and create a bit of a rust effect. Let's go in with the pure orange. Again, just some little points of stippling. This one shows up a lot more. It's brighter. And pop them in there. There you go. Yeah, that kind of thing. And that looks alright. I'm going to do it for the other side as well. So it's not just on that one side. It should be good. Let's get some of that brown. Build it into some parts of that. And do the underside as well. And then finally with the orange, There we go. So we've got a nice looking, well used, a very well used spanner. Nice. Okay, now we've got the black and the white on here. Let's just go with a pure grey. There we go. And we're just gonna hit this whole area first. Be fairly liberal with that. So this whole mesh that he's got wearing on his trousers. What we're going to do is we'll build this up to be fairly light, and then we're just going to give it a purple wash. And what will hopefully happen is the wash with its transparency will allow the kind of a natural blend, but with a purple filter over it. At least that is the idea. It's been a while since I've done that, and I don't really work with washes very much. Could do it with an ink, I guess, but I think the ink's pigment is too strong. I want it to be fairly subtle, so the wash should work out pretty well for that. Okay, I think we've got the coverage on that one, so we're going to build in some more white. Make that lighter. And we're just going to try and hit some of these little diamond patterned parts of the mesh. Try and hit it just on the surfaces if we can. Like that. We're going to get it fairly light because we're going to be going over with a wash. You can kind of see it there. Make sure we get this part of the leg as well. There we go. Right, so we've got those bits covered a little bit. All right, so I've kind of got a little bit in there. We're going to maybe go up just a little bit more with the white. This will be the last highlight for this mesh on his legs. So just looking a bit like that. Get it fairly smooth as a blend. Okay, kind of got that on there. So let's give this the quick wash that we were talking about. So for that, I'm going to actually use the Citadel Drucci Violet, and we're going to just slap this on a little bit. just using a cheapy brush for this. Nothing special. But yeah, we just go over that and it creates like a filter over what we've painted already. There we go. Okay. Let's just basically just put like a little filter over those areas there, giving us kind of a purple mesh. Okay. Oh my god, I'm tired. He's a busy week. Right, we've got a few more details to add in here. We've got his belt to do, and we're going to do that in a bit of a grayscale. So, okay, we're going to throw down some white there. We'll throw down some black. Get us a nice little grey going on the go. A dark grey. Get it a little bit lighter though. It's a bit too dark. Can't really see any effect at the moment. Oh, hello there, Maxwell. Thank you very much for the subscription. That's absolutely awesome. How are you doing? Thank you very, very much. Very greatly appreciated. Absolutely fantastic. How are you doing? Hello, hello. What are you up to today? Oh, jeez. COVID for a week, coming back from Adepticon. Oh, my gosh. How was Adepticon? Did you have a good time? I'm quite jealous about that. I saw they were doing demos of Warcrow and they looked really fun actually. I was like, yeah, now I'm really interested in Warcrow. Oh, fantastic. I've heard it's really good, like for like any kind of like if you're into wargaming and miniatures and things, then Adepticon is like the thing to go to. That's absolutely awesome. It was worth getting the COVID. That's great. Did you get any kind of interesting things? I know they're kind of their markets are interesting because you kind of see a lot of stuff that you don't normally get to see a lot of and things like that. Oh, you did 2 painting classes. Fantastic. Who were the teachers at the painting classes? And which tournament did you join? Did you join the an Infinity one? The who's who of display comp painting. Ooh. AC Miniatures. I think I've heard of. AC Miniatures. That's awesome. Oh, it's nice to do it in person then. That's great. What kind of models were you painting for that? Was there kind of like a set model that everyone was painting, or is it just like you just join the classes and it's more of a lecture style and things like that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please, you're more than welcome to pop it in the DMs there. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Murloc. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a little while back, isn't it now? I have to dig that one up again. But yeah, yeah, I do remember that one. Ah, I see, I see, I see, I see. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there was some really nice colours in that one. Oh man, I'm seriously jealous that you went to Adepticon. That's just absolutely awesome. Jealous in a really good way. Like, I'm just happy that you were able to go and have a good time. The Middle Earth. Oh, okay, nice, 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 nice. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. How did you do? Were there many players for it as well? How many people in that tournament? I really want to try the Middle Earth stuff. I've never played it. I saw the Battle of Osgiliath set. I'm like, that's kind of cool. But I've got enough systems and not enough games at the moment without anyone to play. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Yeah, yeah, you got in the top half there, the top half of the table. That's brilliant. And first time playing in English. Oh my, that's always a challenge as well. Excellent. I'm glad you had a good time there. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Well, let's get some of this. That's fantastic. I really got to figure out how I would be able to go and visit one day. I have no idea how I would, but it would be absolutely brilliant to do so. All right, I think this guy is basically painted. He looks a bit like he's got a Fallout. Uh, what's it? Vault Dweller jacket on, like shirt on, but it's not. But I think this guy is kind of complete. We're kind of good with him. So let's go and work on the others. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Oh, there's new Pro Acryl sets. Fantastic. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, that orange is coming out nice, isn't it? I was pretty happy with that. Right, we've got to do this lady's belts, and then I've got to figure a colour out for this. I'll probably do this in green coming out the back. I think that would be nice. Nice. Have you tried out the Proacryl stuff yet? The new ones? I was happy getting the Proacryl stuff when I went back to England. It's pretty cool. It works really nice through an airbrush as well. I found quite like using them in an airbrush. I'm still actually kind of really enjoying using just the AK paints that I got from England as well. They've been really nice. Quite like how they flow and the kind of like the intensity of color you can get out of them. It's pretty good. So yeah, a lot of these are painted, like the blues here are painted with the AK stuff. Yeah. Did I see your gold NMM? Oh yes. Yeah. The one you was that the one you just started doing the gold NMM stuff? Oh, lovely. Yeah. A Rogue Hobby set. Okay. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. It's always nice getting some new paints and messing around with them, and when you find ones that really click with you and it's just enjoyable to paint with, something special. It kind of reinvigorates you in the hobby. Like, to be honest, you really don't need new paints, but sometimes it's just nice having them. Plastic and paint. Yeah. They're the only things I need in life: plastic and paint, right? Or pewter and paint for me, I guess. I've got Angron sitting on the back of this shelf, back of my table here, waiting for me to paint him up. That'd be a kind of fun one to do. But I've got to also figure out how I'm going to photograph my dragon that I painted, because he's huge, and I don't have a background big enough to do a nice photograph session with him. So I've got to kind of figure that one out. But I've been pretty happy with the amount of productivity I've been getting out lately. It's been kind of nice. Not so much in terms of actually getting YouTube videos out, but certainly they're just getting stuff painted is kind of nice. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. What's GD in Germany? I'm unaware of. There's so many kind of events and special things that I just don't know what they are. Gold. Oh, it's GD. It's the painting thing there. Oh, I'm such a idiot. Of course, Golden Demon. Why did I not twig that? I'm so sorry. I've like had we're getting ready for the new school year at work, and I'm doing lots of training with lots of new new teachers, and so it kind of leaves me talking and covering a lot of information, and my brain gets melted by the end of the day. So I'm in full meltdown mode at the moment, I'm afraid. Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, well, definitely worth going to just try. Even if you don't do well, who cares? You can say, "Hey, I entered a golden demon." That's brilliant. That's one of my goals one day is to hopefully be good enough to try and just enter and have a go at it. And if I was ever able to get a pin, I'll be absolutely flabbergasted with myself. Oh, I bet. Definitely. It's quite a mission to do a Golden Demon project, isn't it? You got to really put in the hours for it. But yeah, what kind of piece are you gonna do for that one again? Or have you got any ideas at the moment of what you're going to be actually doing for that, or which category you'll try? I thought you were going to go for Middle Earth, but Warhammer Underworlds as well. Nice. Some really nice miniatures in that series of game. That game is really nice. Some very cool miniatures there. I'd definitely probably go for a Skaven thing. Skaven are just awesome. Yeah. Witch King on the horse. Oh, that's a nice model, isn't it? Skaven Slaanesh Eldar. Nice. Are Eldar in Underworld? But yeah, that'd be awesome. Is it like the yeah, it's like the equivalent of the high elf. Is it like the Lumineth or something? There's Lumineth, or there's the water ones, which are the El, El, something Eloda King or something like that. No, Idoneth Deepkin, isn't it? Yeah, Idoneth Deepkin. That's the underwater elves. Is it the ones which are like kind of like got deer stuff going on? They're basically like the equivalent of high elves. Isn't that Lumineth or something? Maybe I'm just getting mixed up with Idoneth. I'll have to have a quick look, see. Is it not Lumineth? Yeah, there's the Lumineth. The Lumineth are like the high elves. Yeah. Which... So which one are you talking about with the Eldar? But yeah. So you're actually going to go for the Idoneth. That's cool. Very nice. Yeah, they're a cool... They're kind of an interesting looking faction. I don't know how they play or anything like that, but they're kind of an interesting in terms of their design and things. It's pretty cool. Right, let's add on a little bit for you. Okay. I'm gonna go with A little bit of this. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Oh, that'll be exciting to see. So please definitely post the progress as well in the Discord. I'd love to see how it comes along. That'll be absolutely awesome. That'll be friggin' brilliant. Thank you. Right, over here it's now coming up to 11 o'clock in the evening. So yeah, it's a late night. I've been doing a lot of Blender work lately as well, kind of working on building kind of terrain maps in Blender, along with loading up my minis in Blender so that I can do some animated battle reports is the aim. And also load up the battle maps that I'm using in Blender for the animations into Tabletop Simulator so I can actually play online. I don't have to do it in person. I just record what I play online and then convert that game into a battle report that I animate in Blender. That would be the aim. But yeah. Oh, when did I move over? Oh my gosh, about 15 years ago, I guess. I moved to Japan. So yeah, when I was like in my mid-20s, I initially came over, and I've just kind of hung around and stayed here since. Yeah, it is really super convenient, isn't it? And the Infinity mod is really good for that. And I do the the phototelemetry of my models, so I can actually play with my models in full 3D online. They come out pretty well. I actually got a video on my YouTube on how to do that as well, if you're ever interested in learning how to do it. All right. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really traveled around Asia either. I've been stuck in Japan. I don't really move around much. I'm a bit of a, certainly these days is more of a stay at home and just paint and do projects and things like that and keep myself busy with those a lot of the time. I kind of wish I did do a bit more travel. Well, I don't know if I do. I'm just not really that type kind of thing. It is nice to do it from time to time, but it's not like the thing that drives me. Not like, oh, I've got to go and visit places. I'm more like, I got to finish painting that thing. And when I do get some opportunities, I got some friends in Osaka that I can play some tabletop gaming with, but it's very rare occasion. But I love it when I can. It's really nice. We're trying like to get over to Korea sometime though. Oh, I travel a lot for work. Yeah, that will get you out and about. My work doesn't have me travel at all, except for between schools. And by the weekend, I'm just kind of knackered, so I'm just like, yeah, I just want to go in my hobby room and paint or work on a YouTube video or whatever. Get on stream. Okay. All right, I think we've done the wires justice coming out of her head. There's a nice bright spot from compared to the rest of it. But I think she is basically done. I'm pretty happy with how she's turned out. She's okay. Oh no, I'm not done. The eye sockets I want glowing. I've got to do those. Got to figure that one out there. That'll be all right. Okay. I'll pop you down for a second. Let's come back to you. Okay, we've got some spots that we've got to do with the grey. There we go, we get a nice dark grey. Let me add a little bit of rust to that hook that's on his belt there. I'm going to do his gun as well. May use some of the green that we've got muted down a little bit and have kind of like the top barrel a little bit green. I think that'd be kind of nice. Just kind of break up the stuff a bit. Yeah, no, sometimes it's nice just to do the lazy kind of stuff, right? It's just kind of fun to throw paint on a model. Which kill team is it? Right, that I fall into that trap all the time. Ah, cool. So the Pathfinder is that the Tau one, and the Galapox is the Nurgle kind of zombie group in it, which were originally, I think, those models were in the Black Fortress game, right? I'm not very Tau knowledgeable, to be honest. Yeah, I just remember there was the Black Fortress game, and I think it had the Galapox was the bad guys in that, or something like that. Hello there, Mr. Planet. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Ooh, wrong bloody colour. I want the brown, and I want to mix in a bit of the orange. You up to any painting today, Mr. Planet? I'm just adding a little bit of kind of a bit of rust to his gear that he's got on there. Nothing too much, keeping it fairly light. You just want to show that it's a little bit worn. Give it a little bit of colour where other areas have not got it. Okay, that's kind of most of those parts done there. We've got to do the gun, and we've got to do this piping. And then we've got to figure out how to do his giant bear trap that he's got. So, for this gun, I'm going to take this green, but we're not going to go with it pure green there. We're going to mix in a touch of the black. And we're going to get a touch of the white. So what this is going to do is just going to mute the green down. A bit more of a kind of camo green type of thing. So just mix in there, I think a touch of black. Touch more. This is the real, I'm finding this the really fun thing to do with painting, is just kind of messing around with mixing the colours, kind of figuring out what you can do with just mixing stuff, mixing the blacks and the whites in to kind of mute colours and play around with how it's going to look. I'm finding this to be really fun. I didn't make this model, no, I'm just painting the model. So this model is from a game called Tag Raid, and I just enjoy painting them all. But man, I wish I was good enough to design and make these models myself. These ones are made by a company called Corvus Belli. They make a miniature war game, but their models are some of the most beautiful models that you can buy. They're really nice. So this was one of their Kickstarters that they had. And this game called Tag Raid, it had these models in there, these kind of characters. But it also has these giant monsters as well, which I have kind of painted as well. Painted a couple of them. The big, I've got one more big monster to paint, one more big gribbly. Yeah. Hey, Social Alien, how are you doing? Nice to see you. You working today? Or up to any painting projects yourself? Oh, nice. Oh, brilliant. Have a lovely week off. Which art museum did you go to? What kind of art did you look at? Yeah, I had a few days off the other day. Last week, I had a few days off. It was kind of nice just to chill a little bit. My daughter went down to Wakayama to visit the grandparents, and gave me at least just one day to myself, which was really nice. Oh, fantastic. Oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I hope you had a whale of a time. That's great. All right, well, I'm trying to get through these Tag Raid models as much as possible. before Apex Legends comes, and I've still got a bunch of other projects, and I've also got that Torchlight Brigade to paint as well, so he's keeping me busy. Plus, yeah, I've decided to push myself for video creation, and I'm making thank you very much, Mr. Planet. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I enjoy painting these. They're a lot of fun. It's nice to share the work online a little bit. It's fun. But yeah, okay, we're kind of getting there with this guy. He's almost there. Oh, fantastic. Some oil paints and everything. Oil painting as well. Brilliant, brilliant. Any particular painters that you're particularly fond of? You're like, these guys, this guy's great. Yeah, oil paints are always kind of interesting because you can really see it, like when it can be very like thick textures and things like that. It's kind of interesting to see sometimes. I haven't been to a good art museum for a while. Actually, I tell a lie. I went to an art exhibition of this artist from Wakayama, which is where I used to live and where I met my wife, and where my wife's family is from. And it was like he does like 2D art that if you look at it from a certain angle, it becomes very three-dimensional, and it's kind of drawn on a flat and like on a horizontal surface going up into a vertical surface, and like you look at a certain angle, and especially if you take a picture of it with your phone, the art looks really cool. So it was kind of fun just to kind of run around with a phone and try and like figure out how to look at it properly to make the effect work and things. So it was kind of really fun for lots of kids. And they had like this thank you wall at the end as well, where you could kind of like write a message and stuff and pop it up on the wall. It was really nice. It was pretty good. Right, I've got to figure out how I'm going to paint this bear trap. It looks kind of metal, but I'm wondering if I do some of it in gold and some of it in metal. Kind of like iron. I don't know. I'm kind of a bit at a loss with that thing on his back. Oh, Lowry. Oh, nice. I think my parents have a Lowry picture up in one of their rooms, I believe. But yeah, oh, that's fantastic. Oh, I'd love to go to a proper art museum again. It's great in like going around in Europe and stuff. Europe's got some great art museums and things to go and visit. But yeah, my daughter gets really bored and frustrated. She's still a bit too young sometimes for a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's hard to take her to those things because she just gets like, let's go, hurry up, let's go. And it's like, I want to enjoy this. It's kind of difficult to do so. When she's in those kind of moods. Which I understand. I think at her age I was the same. Oh, nice. Ah, oh, that's really cool, Social Alien. Oh, she managed 2 hours. That's not too bad. That's still pretty good. Me, I'm originally from England, from the south of England, but I live in Japan. I've been living in Japan a long time now. All right. Okay. I think I gotta try to paint this bloody thing, haven't I? Not really. I don't really watch anime so much. Ah, yeah, the museums are free and things, aren't they? Yeah, but I always throw in like a tenner or something like that at least to when I go to visit those places. When we go to like London to go to museums, I throw in a tenner and stuff. It's nice. But no, I don't really watch anime. My wife has been watching a lot of One Piece lately. Um, but yeah, I'm like one of those um, rare foreigners who live in Japan who didn't come here with any kind of interest of anime. Not so much interest in anime. There was I liked certain anime movies, so I remember really enjoying, and I would say I still enjoy. I just haven't watched it recently, which is things like Ghost in the Shell and Akira at the time. Those are the things when I was younger that they did the rounds. But yeah, that's kind of what. That's about as far as my anime knowledge goes. I was more interested in Japanese cinema, so that would obviously include things like Akira Kurosawa and a lot of his movies, but also I was into a lot of sort of Japanese Yakuza movies, and kind of just some weird movies as well. Kind of like I liked a lot of Miike Takashi. His stuff is pretty bonkers. Yeah, that kind of thing. It was cool. It's funny, it was like much easier to get those kind of movies in England than it was in Japan. When I came over, I was like, these movies are much more popular in other countries. Alright, many characters in One Piece are actually references of famous Japanese actors. I mean, they got a lot of kind of like references of characters and things like that. I remember seeing, was it Aokiji? I can't remember the characters now. But yeah, I kind of see them go, I've seen this, I don't know, this is based on a person I know of. But yeah. Anyway, welcome, Feeks. Is it Feeks 14? Welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining. But yeah. A genre. Again, I don't really watch anime, so it's hard for me to say that there's a genre that I enjoy. But I don't think that would be interesting. But I tend to not. I don't watch that much these days. I kind of get a bit antsy kind of watching something and not doing something. So I always feel these days I want to be doing something, so that's why I paint a lot. I'm kind of painting and I'm trying to learn Blender, and I'm slowly learning like to do sculpting and like design and things in Blender. It's kind of fun to learn that. But yeah, he's alright. He's alright. Right, let's just throw in some gold here. Screw it. Let's go for it. Sorry for the bounce there. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to throw down some... is this the right one? No, it is not. That's the wrong brown. I want to throw down some leather brown for this. I'm going to throw down some leather brown. We're going to throw down a little bit of heavy gold brown. There we go. And we're going to throw down a little bit of ivory. Demon Slayer. Oh, I know it. Yeah. But I've never actually really watched it. Yeah, it's funny, like a lot of the children kind of see it. And I saw a bit of it. I'm like, why do the kindergarten kids know this series? It's kind of scary and violent in places. So I'm like, why do all the little kids know this? Mind you, right now YouTube reigns supreme. So I got like 4-year-olds going like, do you know Choo Choo Charlie? And I'm like, yes, why do you know Choo Choo Charlie? That shouldn't be for you. And like Huggy Wuggy and the other one that came up was Skibbity Toilet and things. It's just like, okay. But yeah. It's just time for me. It's I gotta pick my battles and things, and I got a daughter as well, so it's kind of watching the TV time is very limited. So I tend to try to maybe catch a movie or something that I want to see or something like that. But or I tend to watch stuff that I can listen to while I paint. And although I could listen to it and I would generally understand a fair bit of the Japanese, it just wouldn't be enjoyable, because I find with the anime and things, it's more of a visual thing to enjoy as well. I'm afraid I just don't have the time to invest into a series, and especially like ones like a lot of the popular ones like that, because they've got like they go for a long time, so there's a lot of stuff to catch up on, and for me that's just too much. That's why I don't watch the bloody Marvel movies anymore. I mean, I don't think anyone does anymore. It's just gone too far, but there's just too much to catch up on there. But I do believe it is a good anime. It wouldn't be so popular if it wasn't. I remember when it was in its peak at Halloween, I think over 50% of the children at our preschool came dressed as characters from Demon Slayer. I was like, Jesus. This thing's taking over. Okay. For a beginner tackling their first robot. Oh, good question there, Chris. Or Amanda. I'm not sure who. You know what? I've got my tag raid box somewhere here. Hold on. Let me pull out. Which one are you going for first? Hold on a second. Let me pull out the models. Oh. Okay, Mr. Tag Raid. Let's have a look. So, right, okay, you're kind of a good one. Okay. Let's have a look. See. Here we go. All right. Here's one of my tag raid big robot things that I painted. This was the Nomad one, the Rock Eater. I think the traditional one is red. This one I did green because my the what's the faces of the Observance, Sisters of the Observance or whatever. I kind of painted them in this kind of muted green kind of color, so he's going to match them. The Yu Ching, mine is also green for Yu Ching, to be honest, because my Yu Ching color scheme is green as well. But you know, you approach these things the same way. Are you going to be doing it like the same color as the actual set, or are you doing it like an original color scheme? Flat surfaces are very tricky, to be honest. You don't really need to go too crazy or anything. Like, I've been painting a while, so that's the way. All right, thanks very much, Max. Thank you so much for the subscription as well. That was absolutely fantastic. You enjoy painting your kill teams. I hope they go really, really well, and good luck with getting started on your Golden Demon entry. That's going to be awesome. Hey, welcome there. Is that welcome? Welcome, Feeks 14. Thank you very much for joining the Horde as well. If you want, you can also check out the Discord. We have a Discord channel. You can submit your pictures, and you can kind of share stuff that you're working on. So you like to try the original colors. So for Yu Ching, the original colors is like an orange, right? Oh, orange. Oh Christ! For a first, paint job. Let me just warn you: orange is a difficult color to paint with. So like this is kind of like an orange you might want to go for, something like that. The difficulty of orange is that it has a really poor opacity, really poor coverage. So it will, if there's any dark colors underneath, they're going to shine right through, and it's just going to look really streaky and messy. So yeah, don't work from black. So if you're going to be painting orange, something bright like an orange, you might want to just start with a white base coat. I wonder if I can show you an example of why orange is difficult. So, have I got anything base coated black at all? Oh, look at you. I've got an old Goliath model already painted in white, so I might be able to just throw some paint on him. Ah, here we go. This is my model I just kind of throw stuff on for teaching. So we've got a lot of black on here. So the danger of using oranges is, if I throw, luckily I've got some orange here. If I try and throw this orange on, and we try and paint it, what you'll see is its coverage is really bad. Yeah, so if you look at that, it's all streaky, and you can see a lot of the black through it because it's very transparent. Pretty much all oranges are like this. This is very rare to find an orange that's going to have this perfect coverage or anything over black or dark colors. So what you would suggest you do, for especially if you're just starting out and things, you want to keep it fairly simple. Orange can go on the white. Oh my god, it's bleeding out my camera. But you can throw like orange on white and it will have better coverage. So look at that, there we go. Straight away, that's looking so much more brilliant, right? So that, above all else, above all of anything, is like your first step to take, is just make sure you've got a very bright undercoat, a base coat. So you want to probably cover the model in that kind of a color. If you wanted to, yeah, that's right. If you wanted to build in a little bit of depth, so if you'll have a look at this one. Now, I don't think you're going to be, if you're just starting out painting, you probably don't want to be doing this because it's a little bit much. You don't want to be going too crazy with like depths of colors and things. They're going from reds to oranges and things. Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, definitely you want it pretty light underneath. But this one I based red first, and then I kind of built up from red with lighter and lighter hues, and eventually getting up to the top. Now, if I just show you like this big model here, what you'll notice is now I did airbrush work on this and things like that. So ignore the airbrush work. That's not going to be something you're going to be doing at this stage. But if you have a look at like this panel here, this one's basically a base green here, but then on the edge here you can see this light green. This is what's called an edge highlight. This can be really, really good for like highlighting panels. And so these robots have a lot of these panels. So you can just kind of highlight these panels. Now the way to do that is you load your brush with the lighter color, but what you got to do then is you be very careful. So if I got this green here, so for example, you got this green here. Now I got too much on there. There's way too much green on this brush. So it's really, really important. I use the side of my hand, but you can use a towel, a kitchen towel or something like that, or kitchen paper. And I just spin the brush and turn it and wick it so that it is still green, but it's very, very faint kind of thing. It's just in the bristles. And then what you would do is where there's the edge there, you use the not the point, but the flat of the side to highlight those areas. So you just rub it against that side there, and it will highlight it very carefully. If there's too much paint on there, it will highlight too much or bleed out or do something horrible. You want to kind of keep it subtle and keep it simple. But that will kind of help just highlight the panels. So you could just paint it a single color and then go with a lighter color and highlight that way. So with Yu Ching, what you might do is you might go over the thing with red, then build up to an orange for a lot of the panels with leaving a little bit of red in the recesses, and then mix in a little bit of yellow with your orange. So you could take this orange here, mix in a little bit of yellow. It makes a nice kind of fiery light green, a light orange, and then that's what you would use for your highlighting, the edge highlighting to make it pop a bit more. I'm doing it on his muscles, which is a bit different from edge highlighting, obviously, but that would be a way that you could just get a little bit of, can't really see, this thing's bleeding out the light so much. But that's how you might approach the traditional color scheme of the Yu Ching. Because Yu Ching, I think, yeah, is bright orange. That can be a tricky color to paint. So don't let it, if you're finding it's difficult, don't let it bug you down though. That's going to be important. Okay, I hope some of that information was helpful. If you have any other questions, please just throw them in. I'll be happy to try and help you out. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, let me just throw it in. Like so, if you can just do this and it'll throw up my Discord link there. Okay. No problem, no problem. You're welcome. Yeah, I'll be happy to see you there, and yeah, just you can post work in progress or finished stuff. It's kind of cool. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I hope it helps. Yeah, just give it a go, and you probably fail, and that's fine. You just kind of keep learning through trial and error and things like that. But for yours, for right now, I'll keep it simple. You don't need to worry about getting like blends or anything like that if you're just starting out. All you want to do is like go, okay, I want to get that base, nice strong color down. I'm just gonna make it visually interesting with those edge highlights, and that's a great start to be at, and like be happy with how it looks, kind of thing, and add in details that you feel like you want to here and there. You just build from there, and you learn as you go along. That's kind of the main thing. Yeah. Oh, well, welcome to painting there, FX. That's awesome. That's awesome. What have you been painting? Oh, Mr. Planet, how long have I been painting? I would say 10 years, but it's not really. I kind of restarted into wargaming and painting 10 years ago, but I was mainly kind of getting into Warhammer at the time. I was painting I was painting a lot of models, but just quickly and getting them on the table, and they looked terrible, really, really bad. And then it wasn't until maybe, I guess, 6, 7 years ago, when I was after my daughter had been born, and I kind of had to switch games because I didn't have the space to do Warhammer. So I switched to Malifaux. And when I got Malifaux, I had these smaller sets of gangs, and I was like, well, let me take my time a little bit more with trying to paint these ones. And I was like, oh, I'm really kind of getting into the painting, and that's when I kind of was like, okay, now I've kind of switched from playing games to just painting the models more. It's kind of cool. Oh, you got the action pack from Infinity 012 Starmada. Nice. I don't. To be honest, any kind of Infinity miniatures can be a little bit tough or daunting just because of the amount of detail. I've got the Torchlight Brigade here. Corvus Belli were very kind enough to actually send me these as a kind of like a review copy, which I was very grateful for, and it's added to my collection of things to paint. So I'm going to be painting up these guys, and these are kind of similar to Starmada and things. But again, you kind of got lots of panels there, so you can kind of work on doing a little edge highlighting and things like that. Yeah, they're really cool. Yeah, the Infinity models are fantastic. They're wonderfully kind of like they kind of got a bit of that anime influence in them, but they're really cool. Everywhere, I'm afraid, Warhammer's always going to be the number one top dog everywhere. Pretty much, it is here, I'm afraid, and I'm just not really interested in going and playing it. I do like painting it from time to time. Yeah, it does have some nice shapes to work with, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna have fun painting them. My scheme for my 012 is red armor with kind of like a blue steel trim. Oh, yeah, sure. I've actually got a promotion with these ones. This is actually, these guys sent me this as like when they were doing the Kickstarter, just for me to promote it, and I actually fell in love with it, and I use it constantly. So this is like a really handy painting station. So you get like a couple of paint pots here, but they have these silicone painting holders that just clip on there, and they just, your paintbrush basically just clips in like that. And then it also, yeah, and you can remove the paint pots and things like that. You can kind of adjust it and change it up as you feel like it. This one's called from Crydruffy. And yeah, it's really handy. I think sometimes I get like a message in my my chat stream that will say like, oh, I've got a promotion with them. If you are interested in it, it would be great if you did follow my link. I think you get like a little discount. I'm not sure if it's 5% at the moment or 10% off, but if you were interested in it, you can go and check it out with the links. My YouTube channel, I think if you're joining my YouTube, you can actually just check my YouTube channel. I think all my YouTube videos in the description at the bottom has my Crydruffy link, my affiliate link, so I get a bit of a kickback for that, which is nice. I really like using it. They also you get a wet palette as well. It's like little portable wet palette. So the wet palette that I'm using under the thing, this is actually part of this set, and it actually clips to the bottom of this base, so you can carry it around. It's really like portable. It comes, yeah, and you get a bunch of wet palettes as well. They've got two sets of wet palettes that you get. One is the one is this one, which is like the miniature painter's wet palette. It's very thin paper, so you just wet the sponge, get it moist, and then throw in the wet palette paper, and it works really well. I've been really enjoying it. I've been using it for like all my models these days, and it's been ideal. It's been great. It reminds me a lot of the my other wet palette that I often use is So yeah, you kind of, this is like the clip thing that you get, and then it opens up. You can kind of get that. You got the sponge in there and things like that. So you get a couple of those if you get a certain set with that. That's kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's my little promotion of them. I was really happy with them. At first, when they contacted me, I was like, why are you contacting me? I don't understand. And they were just like, we like your videos. So I was like, okay, if you want to send me this stuff, I'll try it out. I wasn't expecting much of it, but I absolutely love this set because I can also go traveling with it. This is like my other wet palette, which is like the red grass palette, and this has been kind of like my go-to a lot of the time. But I'm really happy with this Crydrophy set. It's really cool. It's really, really awesome. But yeah, if you follow the link that I have, you get a bit of a discount on them, and I get a kickback, which is like, you know, win-win. And yeah, it's lovely. It's brilliant. Love it. I have a video on my YouTube as well which reviews it. So if you want to see like some in-depth, like what I felt about it and how I feel about it, you can kind of see that video on the YouTube. At that time, it only had the thick palette paper, which wasn't great for miniature painting, but basically all the miniature painters that were testing it for them were like, this is a problem, like you need to sort out your wet palette a bit. Like the wet palette paper is really nice when you kind of keep the paint on there with the seal on, but as soon as you kind of have it out for a half hour, an hour, your paint starts to dry fairly quickly. So then they were like, okay, let's try and make some new wet palette paper for miniature painters. Like it works really well for like other artists and things, but for miniature painters, our acrylics dry really fast. So having a wet palette that keeps them moist is really, really important. And yeah, the one that they've sent me, like when they updated it, they sent me the new palette paper, and it's been really, really nice. So I probably need to do an update video perhaps just to review that. But yeah, it's really cool. I love it. I use it every day for my painting all the time. It's really handy. And I was even able to take it back to England with me. So I basically just threw it in my bag, took it to England, and I was painting models back in England for the holiday. Yeah. And then, what's it? What was I going to say? And then, yeah, I decided to actually, I backed it. I backed it for a further one on the Kickstarter to get one for my brother, because my brother's got loads of board game minis and he took an interest in maybe trying a little bit of painting and things. And I was like, well, let me get you this as a present, because I'm really enjoying it. I think you'll enjoy it too. I got him the other color, which I think is a much nicer one because it's lighter colors. So the black sometimes I think is kind of hard to see your paints and things, so I much prefer if it was the kind of the white cream one that they have. They kind of got like a green and beige kind of design one, and that's really nice too. So yeah, but it's really, really good. If you haven't got a wet palette yet, and or like a setup for your painting station, it's a really nice set, and it's pretty affordable as well. And they've been really good with their customers as far as I've seen. I always kind of get a bit like I don't want to ever support a company that I don't believe in. So I was kind of like watching them for a while, going like, oh, how are they going to do with the Kickstarter? How are they going to do with their customers and things? But they've been really solid. So they're pretty impressive. So yeah, I'm very happy to shill for them. But yeah, anywho. But anyway, sorry, Aspire. Hello, welcome. It's been a while. I saw you pop in, and I was just in the middle of my spiel. So yeah, how are you doing, man? I'm guessing you be at work today. We had Maxwell in earlier. He'd went to Adepticon as well. You may have bumped shoulders and not realised. Right, I'm now going to just start building in the gold for this particular model here. I still haven't recovered. Well, poor Maxwell, he's just gotten over like COVID from it as well. So it definitely, I think, took it out of a lot of people. So yeah, I can imagine it's quite a day, quite a weekend. Alright, so right now we're doing some NMM, which is non-metallic metal. We're going to try and make this thing look like it's shiny gold without using gold paint. Just using matte colours. And so we're kind of making the image of a shine. There you go. Yeah, thank you, Maxwell. Yeah, no, we've got a Lord of the Rings Middle Earth player. It's a game I would like to try for sure. I fell out of the hobby a little bit before like the Lord of the Rings movies came out and the whole thing with Games Workshop doing it. I was out of the hobby at that time, and when I came back in, I think they were doing some of the Hobbit series sets. I think I remember seeing the Goblin King one. But I've heard good things about the game, so I'd like to definitely try it sometime. But again, I just don't have the space to get another game. I'll get my Apex Legends box and then I'm going to be like, no, I'm not getting any more games. That's it, I'm done. I'll get models to paint, but I'm going to stop jumping in on Kickstarters. Except I did just back the new Red Grass Kickstarter for the new painting handle, mainly because I could also pick up their light a little bit cheaper. So I'm going to be getting the R9 light because my light has kind of gone a little bit bad, as it's the arm is actually broken now, so it's very hard to kind of position comfortably. And every so often it falls down and nearly destroys all my models on my table. So I'm like, yeah, that's definitely going to destroy some of my models in the future. So I best get a new light. And you know what? If I'm going to get a new light, I might as well go and get a really nice one. So I'm going to get the R9. I've seen a lot of people swear by it. It's expensive, but I'm like, that's it. That's it. I've got a light, and it's going to be my main light now. Yeah. Well, the good thing is, like, in terms of space, this light will actually save me some space because I'll be able to clear up some real estate on my hobby table here because it clips to the side, and I can kind of position it fairly high as well, and it still lights a lot of the area, and it will light it more diffusely as well. So that'll be nice, I think. Okay, we're working our way up to ivory here for this, and we're going to basically just highlight in smaller and smaller areas. Try and create that shine. Use that edge highlight technique we were talking about earlier to just catch the edges of the teeth here. Make them really pop. Ah, nice. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the thing is, like, I was looking at stuff like that. I think I was looking at the BenQ one. I was looking at what's it, the Needify ones as well. And I was like, well, you know what, if I'm gonna spend a bit of money, I might as well go all out and get me the freaking best light there is. So yeah, I'm going for the R9. I'm gonna give it a shot. So I think it will work quite well for my kind of photography of minis as well. Okay, so there's a couple of things with the brush. So one, these particular brushes are my they are the whatchamacallit. These are sable brushes. So it's kind of the horsehair brushes. So they're a little bit more expensive and things. One of the things, brush care is important. So using brush soap to make sure that there's no paint in the ferrule. So when paint gets in here and dries, what happens is when it dries, it pushes all of the brushes out, and they'll split like that, and they'll stick out and they won't stay together. So one of the things is important is brush care, to just make sure that you don't have any paint in the ferrule, and so you can kind of keep a nice point. That's going to be important. Otherwise, just making sure as well that your paint is moist enough, kind of thing. Sometimes look there, there's my my link for the Cryography paint set here if you wanted to click that one. Yeah. But also, yeah, just making sure, like when you're mixing in the water and things, then you can, here I'll show you, you roll it backwards like this, and that kind of drives the tip together and kind of twists the tip together as well. When you're then painting, so if you've got some paint on your brush, I'm just going to grab this orange here. Again, I've got it on the brush there. I'm going to wick it, and again, I do the same thing. I twist like this, just twist like that. Kind of keeps the point there. And then when I'm painting, the important thing is that I'm painting back like this. I lift and go back, I lift and go back, I lift and go back. If I push forward, watch what happens. All of the brushes get all pulled out, and then you don't have a tip anymore. So it's also very important how you control your brush. So pulling it back, pulling it back, pulling it back, resets it back into a nice fine point. So the control of your brush, how much moisture you have with your paint, and how you wick your brush and how you clean your brush. These are all kind of important things for keeping your tip of your brush sharp. And just getting some decent brushes. When you're starting out, really doesn't really matter. Just have some like cheapy brushes is fine. I add a little bit of water, but mostly I just moisten the brush. That's usually enough. It really depends on the paint, you know. All the paints will have different consistencies, so I've got to find the consistency that works for me. If there's too much water for the highlights, then it won't work, because what will happen is if it's too wet on the brush, it's gonna do a thing like a wash. It's gonna fall into the indentations of the model, and then I'm painting the wrong areas. But what is going to be important is, if I'm doing the highlights and things like that, I don't want too much paint on there. This is way too much. You see it's like globbed up. I've got to wick it. This is something that I find a lot of painters, they'll talk about, you know, you got to add water to your paint and things, and make sure it's thinned down. But very rarely do they say wick your brush. That is perhaps the most important thing to do, because now I've got only a little bit of paint on there, and I can now just very carefully apply a little layer at a time without it kind of bleeding over or splodging or doing anything like that. That's kind of really important. Yeah, it's gonna take you a minute, and what I recommend is make sure you're wicking your brush. This wicking of the brush is gonna help you a lot. So do that. Don't let there be too much paint on the tip. That's kind of I think it took me a long time to learn, to be honest. So yeah, and So yeah, I'm just wicking a little bit there. I've got, you can barely see it. You see, you barely see it. There's a bit on there. And now to kind of catch highlights, especially for these, I'm using the edge of the brush and not the tip. And just brushing it against it, rolling it against it there. And that will just catch it all. That looks very nice, I think. So let's just go the other way. Kind of repositioning your model as well is really handy. There we go. Okay, let's. So yeah, we're kind of going for this, trying to make it look like it's a bit of a shiny gold or bronze, and yeah, we're getting there. We're going to hit it with a little bit more of the ivory. This ivory is pretty thick, but it's not too bad. I kind of like it. It's okay thick, so I've got a more controlled point that I'm going to be hitting. So I'm going to hit these little teeth here, get them nice and bright. Yeah, ivory is a great color, isn't it? The other one I really love is ice yellow. Oh, ice yellow. What a brilliant color for mixing with your other colors to lighten them, but also keep kind of like a really high kind of contrast of color and things. You don't lose the intensity of your colors with the ice yellow. But ivory is nice, yeah. Sometimes I find some ivories are very very thick and they dry very fast. But they work a lot better sometimes than the whites, because the whites will often be very flaky and inconsistent sometimes. But I have the titanium white. What's it, the really nice white from Pro Acryl. I don't use it that much at the moment. I will probably bust it out a little bit more when I need to try and get used to using it. But I'm just like afraid to use it because I don't want it to run out. That stuff is like gold dust. But yeah, ice yellow is really good. Like it's really nice. I haven't been using it that much lately because I've been using a lot of the AK basic starter set just for a lot of my work. It's been a really nice set to play around with. Okay, so we kind of got those teeth there. I gotta go and do the inside of this thing. I haven't done that, so let's hit the inside. Yeah, no, they are. They're really both very good. I'm loving them both. And I was like, oh, I can't believe I was painting without them. I did a lot with Vallejo, and I love Vallejo as well, but I found like the consistency of AK is really nice. It's really good. I would love to get some Chimera paints, mainly because I really am enjoying just using the AK basic starter set to like mix all sorts of colors and learn color mixing. And I know the Chimera base set is really good for that as well. So that right now is kind of my jam, is just mixing paints to make my own colors and figuring out what kind of colors go together to make what kind of effect and things like that. It's kind of helping me with a lot of color theory as well. It's nice. It's nice. But yeah, this AK set is really good. I really like it. It was the basic. I got that set in England so that I could do some painting in England, and I didn't need to, bring any paints with me, or just use a few paints. And I found I could do almost anything with 14 paints that are in that set. I think they're all picked out by Jose Da Vinci, who's also one of my favorite painters. Certainly one of my favorite teacher painters on YouTube. He's really good. Absolute legend. I haven't tried the signature sets, but I've got the basic paint set for Pro Acryl, so that came with a lot of paints in there. That was nice. The sets that I've got, yeah. Ooh, let me get you the box. This one. Sorry, let me zoom out. This set, if you want to like just have some good quality paints that cover like the full range of the color wheel, this set is really, really good. And you can pretty much, from those 14 colors in here, pretty much make any color you like. You just got to know what to be mixing and things. But it's really nice, and it comes, basically it has all these kind of colors, the warm colors and the cool colors. Has a color wheel to kind of like reference things as well, to help you with understanding a little bit of how to use a color wheel. And it's a really nice set. I really recommend it, and I think you can find it really cheap actually. I forget which site it was, but my brother found it for like 15 quid or something for the whole set. It was like, what? That's amazing. First I thought it was a scam, and then when it arrived, we were like, it was real. Oh my god. But yeah, normally it's like $35 or something like that. Yeah, I think I picked it up for like 25 quid, which seemed to be like the going price and things. But my brother found it for like half that, which was amazing. But it's a really good set. It's really nice. Yeah, I recommend it highly. I think I'm going to try and do a YouTube video on it where I take a mini and I paint the miniature as colorfully as possible using only that color, only that set, and showing how you mute colors using the black and the white, and how you kind of mix the colors to create different temperatures and things like that. It'd be kind of cool. Zoop, 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 zoop. There we go. Hello. Yeah, the bottles are lovely. I mean, basically anything that's in a dropper bottle is better than Citadel. Even my Citadel stuff I've transferred into dropper bottles. So I went and did that because I was like, screw like the Citadel bottles. There's some really nice Citadel paints, but goddamn, I hate those bottles. They're really kind of don't work for people that are using wet palettes and things like that very well. Yeah, it's a bit much. Just buy paints that are already in bottles. I think is probably the best thing you can do. Ooh. Have a look around. You can probably find it somewhere cheaper. That sounds pretty expensive, to be honest. I'm pretty sure you can find it cheaper. I think, well, what is it? 14 paints. I'm trying to remember if I'm remembering the price rightly. Maybe my brother found it for like 20 quid. And I paid probably 35 or something like that. I remember thinking like it wasn't too bad for the number of paints I got in there. Like, 14 paints, usually Citadel would be pretty expensive. It was pretty equivalent to like Vallejo prices, I think. Like a Vallejo set or something. So I was pretty happy with it. Have a shop around. You might find it somewhere. Did I get mine from... I don't know. I can't remember where I got mine. I think I actually got mine from Wayland Games. Wayland is kind of fairly local to my my home in England. My parents in England. So you can quite easily drive down there as well. and visit their actual physical store and warehouse kind of thing. But yeah, if I spot it for any cheaper or anything, I'll throw it up on the Discord or something, and try and throw a link up if I can find it cheaper. I'm sure you'll be able to find it a bit cheaper than that, though, Social Alien. But it's definitely worth it. Like, I'm absolutely loving it. So here I'm just trying to get like a diffuse metal kind of look to the thing on his back here. So just using the edge of the brush to kind of hit some highlights as we go, and we just kind of get smaller and smaller highlights that we're just building up, so there's a bit of a gradient. There you go. Yeah, I think that's what I paid for, and I'm sure my brother found it for like 20, which was like, what? Yeah, that sounds about right to what I paid for. I think 35. I think that's maybe what I got it for. Right, once we get this last little bit of highlighting in, we're gonna just kind of rust it up a little bit with the browns and the oranges we got. And then I'm kind of gonna say maybe this guy's done, because I'm getting tired of painting these guys. I want to move on to another project. I gotta finish off my commission as well, so it'll be good to switch into the commission again. Finish off those things. Yeah, mold cleanup is an absolute pain, innit? Oh god. Oh, that's gonna slow down your airbrushing then. Sit there and scrape away. Yeah. Yeah, I hate freaking mold lines. But they come off the GW ones pretty easy though, so it's not too bad. Okay, I was gonna add on the rust, wouldn't I? So I'm going to start off with a little bit of brown, which we're going to kind of stipple. Just kind of, this one is where I do use the tip of the brush, and I'm just kind of dabbing in places, just where I think the rust is going to be building. Oops, sorry if you can't see. Yeah, it's going to take you a bit. You got what, 10 pathfinders to go through? Okay, we're going to go with this now. Lighter, warmer brown. Just kind of dot that in a little bit. Oh, we found it for 31. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, 31's good. If you think that's 14 paints, you're looking at roughly £2 paint, pot of paint, and so it's a nice set. I really like it anyway. I don't know if it's for everyone, but I really like it, and I've been enjoying using them. Their white is pretty good, I find. It's not bad. Like, as White Skull, I've been finding it quite nice. I think like there's they're thinner than Vallejo paints generally, is what I'm finding. But I think there's still a very high concentrate of actual medium in there, because they flow pretty nicely on the model and on the brush. Like I feel like I control them pretty well, even though they feel thinner than Vallejo stuff. It's good. Yeah, the black's really nice, and the magenta is very good as well. Yeah, they're very, very nice colors. I end up using a lot of I like the wine red. The wine red is great. It's like a great equivalent of like corn red. I've been really enjoying that. Like these guys have a lot of the wine red building up to the lighter red. This is all pretty much painted with that AK set. I think everything on here is painted with just the AKs, and it just came out nice, I think. So yeah, that was most of these models were painted with just the AKs, which I thought was kind of nice. Like this one, I used a little bit of a Vallejo dark blue as a base, but the rest of it was pretty much all. Most of this was also using that set. I think I used the turquoise from the set as well to do the hair here, and it came out really nice as well. I was really happy. But yeah. I used the magenta a little while ago. I think this one I think was the magenta. I used the magenta in this. So yeah, that was kind of like the magenta I had, which was working on for this lovely lady. Yeah. There we go. Right, let me go and see the Discord. Let's have a look, see. We can share it on the screen if you're alright with that. Oh yes. So let me just bring this one up. You can see it a little bit. Let me just pull that around. There we go. Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Ooh, there goes my light again. Bloody thing. Yeah, that looks lovely. Look at the gradient on that as well. So smooth. Lovely. What airbrush are you using for that? Yeah, nice. Yes, that's what I got. I got that one for Christmas. It's lovely, isn't it? It's a real nice airbrush to paint with. Feels good. Love the pullback hammer. Okay. Alright, I think I'm gonna call this guy pretty much done. There may be some cleanup and things. Obviously got to do all the bases and stuff, but that's pretty much my Sterling Forge all finished. Just need to base them and they're all good to go. Thank you very much, Fix. That's very nice of you. Very kind of you. So this was this is the engineer as well. So yeah, Beast Hunter and engineer for the team. Yeah. Thank you. You're very kind. You're very kind. too kind, I must say. And then there's this one as well. I will be doing the base similar to this, so it will be kind of like the desert dirt type of ground, with the kind of the gold emblems for the field of view. So that's kind of how I'll end up looking at the end of it all. I can do that off stream though. It'll be similar to how this Beast Hunter's base came out. She was a fun one as well. I enjoyed her. She was good. Really liked how the sword came out. I was quite happy with that one. But yeah, we're getting the tag raid done. We're slowly getting there. It's going pretty well. However, it is getting pretty late and I've got work tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to love you and leave you at that point. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. I should be back again on Thursday if I'm not completely knackered, and barring that's all okay. I'll also be on Saturday. However, playtesting for Hexadome is coming out as well. They're doing their next beta for the Hexadome video game, so I'm going to be probably jumping in on that and playing a bit of that. I may be streaming some of it as well. So if you want to check that out, I might be streaming that on the Thursday actually, because that's when they're releasing it. If it's out by then, I'm not sure exactly when it's coming, but yeah, I'm going to be doing that. It's going to be good. All right, thanks very much, man. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye.